Hello, and thank you for joining me on this YouTube channel. You know, I was sitting there thinking about these retail stores that are closing. You know, we've heard some talk of it. I don't know how much talk that you might have heard from the closures of these retail stores, but we're going to take a look at some of these retail stores if you're just tuning in. So let's come over here, you all. We're going to get right down to it is what we're going to do. And it's okay. So let's look at this, you all. So we have these major retail stores closing, and this is the timestamp for it for the November the 1st of 2021, and it really does. It talks about the different stores that are closing, and you know they close for a variety of reasons. We know they do. They close for a variety of reasons, but let's look at this. So major retail chain stores are closing locations around the country in record numbers. And it is true. It is happening. They are closing. And it says over the past few years, online shopping and other factors have had a huge impact on how companies with brick and mortar stores operate. Some have flourished, while others have struggled to stay afloat. So let's look at this a little bit more. So this is what they say. As we move into 2022, we've had to say goodbye to some long-standing companies. Okay, and that they did. They had to say goodbye to some long-standing companies. Oopsie, Gina, honey, you got to quit doing that. I know I got to quit doing that. I really do. And if you're just tuning in, hello there, Ash Linton. Thank you for joining. I saw your comment. Let me get these comments here on the live chat going right here. I think we've got it. Yeah, so this is really interesting about these. If you have not seen an update on it, we're going to look at this, you all. So Macy's, over the next 3 years, are going to close 125 branches. They closed 28 stores in 2020 alone, right there. 2020 alone. Starbucks, yes, they are. Oh, my gosh. 400 branches. Hello there, Sunshine. You all, thank you for coming. 400 branches. It says, but even this titan hasn't come out of 2021 unscathed. The popular chain store is in 400 U.S. and Canada. 400 of them in U.S. and Canada. So, yeah, thank you for joining. We've got this Bed Bath & Beyond. 43 branches. So this has been open since 1971. Starbucks, 1971. Oh, so it's good. They didn't say when. Okay, 1858 for Macy's. Okay, so we've got these, and from 1971 is what we've got. So let's look at this. Bed Bath & Beyond. DSW, I've not heard of them before. I really have not. They will be closing 65 stores over the next 4 years. So over the next 4 years, that's going to put us around 2025. 2025 is that's what it's going to put us at, you all. And I wonder what's going to happen then in 2025. Is it going to be a totally new world? It quite possibly could be a totally new world in which we live in. It will be. It will be. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be a totally new world. So let's look at this. We got some more. Walgreens, 200 branches. They have been everywhere, okay, all across America. And they certainly have their competition cut out with CVS. So, yeah, you think DSW is like the home gods? It could be. It could be. They got the Gap since 1979. Look, in addition to as many as 350 store closures worldwide leading up to 2024. So they're going to continue. It's really interesting if they're going to continue to do a gradual closing of the stores. How do they know that far in advance? How do they know that far in advance that they're not going to be successful? How do they know? Really, it is something to think about how they do know. And if you're just tuning in and if you're trying to comment, I just want to tell you we only got 2 people on here commenting because I think the comments are being withheld. I really personally do. They're being withheld because Gina has not been a very good girl. I haven't been a very good girl. Let me flip it around and let you all see. I want to let you see what the screen looks like right here. We've only got a couple of them. You'll have to look at the very first part of this video to see all of the stores that were. Yeah, see, they only allowing 3 people to view. That's all they're doing, allowing 3 people to view. We're going to call them out. I am. So we've got these Urban Outfitters. They've been around since 1970. Since 1970. So they have to be determined. So they know that they're going to close. They know that they're going to close. Hello, everyone. They know that they're going to close. The Children's Palace. I think I remember that. 1969. You know, this is really interesting. The time that these they were established. Hello and welcome. The time that they were established. Just one moment, please, you all. One moment. Okay, now let's look at this. So we can look at this. CVS, 1963. 200 branches. Look at this. They have managed better than most to adapt to consumers' online delivery. So an online delivery. It makes sense now, you all. It makes a lot of sense. Online delivery. Doesn't it make sense now? Everything is going to be done online and or virtually. You all, I got this thing cutting into my face. I might need to shrink it a little bit more, shrink me a little bit more. They've got these things online. Let me turn this light on right here. I just wanted to do this light, you all, is what I wanted to do. That really makes sense now. If you think about it, yes, you're going to, yes, a thumbs up, that'd be great. So this is really interesting. It's essential. I know how to say it, but I can't say it right now. Conundrum, given its massive presence of nearly 10,000 stores nationwide. It's a mighty real estate investment in the face of a dwindling walk-in customer that has forced the company to be innovative. Why do we have a dwindling walk-in customer base? You know why? I think that as a result, CVS will close at least 200 underperforming stores nationwide by the end of 2022, including its famous Springfield, Missouri, the largest CVS in the world, you all. That's right. Then we got Neiman Marcus, year 1907. They got 4 branches that closed in 2020. 113-year-old retailer. Boom. That's it. So the New York Times described Neiman Marcus as a former symbol of luxury. A former symbol of luxury. Whether more stores will close in 2022 remains to be seen, you all. This is really interesting. It is, if you think about it. It's very interesting. Yeah, thank you all for joining in. You all, that's okay. I try. I get myself in trouble. I really do get myself in trouble. I just want to be quite honest in the spiritual realm and the physical realm. But that's okay, you all. We can do this. We can keep sharing. So the Foot Locker, 1974, 117 branches. The bad news, sportwear favorite Foot Locker has going to also close 117 stores. Look at this. The good news, the majority of these stores are located overseas, meaning the U.S. market and locations will be mostly intact. Oh, is that the good news, you all? Because the majority of their shoe stores are located overseas. Well, that's just fine and dandy. What if somebody wants What if somebody wants to go to the Foot Locker and they want to try on some new shoes because they have a wide variety here that you can physically go in and try those shoes on? What if somebody wants to do that? Okay, at the Foot Locker. I guess you won't get to do it. I really guess you won't get to do it, is what I'm saying. So it's really, that's okay. That's okay. We're going to keep looking. Look, they're going to shake up the management. And Foot Locker got a new CEO. Okay, look at that. A new CEO. Guess. 1981, 200 branches. Now, why are they all? Now, see, this is a pretty 200 branches. Now, we've seen many of these so far stating that they are going to be closing 200 of their stores. Okay, it seems to be a pretty common number with this. It really is. Yeah, so let's look at this. So, Guess has been a part of American history. Oh, it's been a part of American history, you all, is what it had been. So, in 2021, they announced plans to close 200 stores across the world. Somebody said, look, while it equates to just 9% of their global presence, the majority of closures will be in the U.S. and China. Imagine that. Imagine that. I know that I did hear, and I watched, I read his lips, that they were going to level the playing field. They were going to level the playing field. He said it. I heard it. It's been years back. He said it. That's what they were going to do. They did. You got home, and yes, so look at this. Victoria's Secret, 1977, 50 branches. The lingerie store is credited with bringing hip, fashionable lingerie. Okay, so that's all they say about it. No, they're going to say some more. It became the largest retailer of lingerie, but sales have seen a gradual decrease. And so they closed more than 50 locations in 2019, 250 in 2020. And in order to compete with the demands of e-commerce, you all, what's this? Come on now. Okay. We would expect to have a meaningful number of additional store closures beyond the 250 that we are pursuing this year, meaning there will be more in 2021 and a bit more in 2022. Yes, I remember Sears. I do. Oh, look, the Pottery Barn, 1949. Look at that. 3 branches. They announced the closure of at least one of its store locations before the beginning of 2020. And they closed many more. They closed more stores by the end of that year. It is associated with hip and home furnishings. So let's look at that. They had a problem back in 2017, and they were struggling to adapt. So they're gone. Target, 1995, 13 branches. So look at this. So they emerged as one of the biggest rivals of the retail titan. The clash of the titans. Okay, known as Walmart. Target exploded to global success in 2010. And it was known as Goodfellow Dry Goods. It has been exceptionally well in the internet age, focusing on internet sales and targeting the pun intended through the more conscious consumer, more image conscious. Revenues are up. Well, I'm sure the revenues are up, especially if you're just doing everything, a lot of the stuff online. It's not costing you as much. It isn't, and people really aren't really going to the stores anymore for some strange reason, is what I think. Target plans to close about 13 locations through 2022, though more store openings are on the horizon. So you all, Disney, I didn't know they had a Disney store. Oh my gosh, look at that. Since the Disney is a cult, what? Oh my gosh, did you hear this? The side note, this is the good news for many, since Disney is a cult and part of the problem. You know, that is very, very strange to read a statement like this. Is that not strange? That's just taken me aback, you all. That really is. Now, I know that there's things with Disney, but to write that in an article, you all, don't that sound really strange? Yeah, but I'm saying it's just really strange to see in print. Yeah, strange to see in print. Yes. So, that's really interesting. I've never read somebody be so blunt with something like that before. Okay, I am. So that's okay. You know what I think? Let me tell you something. Let me come over here really fast. So I'm going to come over here to this right here. Look, I want you all to look on here, and I don't know how many messages they're allowing on here. See, we got 161 people on here, and this is all the messages that are on here. All the comments out of 164 people watching. Look at that, you all. Doesn't that seem strange to you? And doesn't it seem strange that not a single moderator is on here? I'm going to tell you who is moderating this. The algorithm is moderating it because it literally, it looks like they're holding certain comments, as you can see right here. Let me see if I can highlight. I can't know if I can highlight it right here. See right here, they're doing their own moderating. Yeah, that's really interesting, isn't it? All this is the only comments right here. I don't even know how many comments are on here. Might be 45 comments. Who knows? That's really strange, but that's okay, you all. We are living in a strange world, but okay, look at this. So, let me get back to here, you all. I'm supposed to be focusing on this. So, Disney has been around a lot longer than 40 years, but the very first one opened up in 1987. Was it only then? Okay, the store itself. So the House of Mouse announced plans to close 60 of its stores in North America by the time 2021 comes to a close. It has been a total global presence of 300 locations. That's a fair slice of the pie. And more stores could be shuttered on top of this number. Let me see this, you. I'm trying to get here. Yeah. So shadow files. Well, I'll tell you where they're at. I will tell you where they're at. They just don't notify them. They don't get the notifications. Isn't that strange? They don't get the notifications because I guess the Google algorithms are fully capable of monitoring the live stream. Isn't that interesting? And monitoring how many comments are allowed on here. That's what I'd like to say. I would like to say that I would. That's right, you all. So look at this. So we're back here at the Banana Republic. 1978, 84, let me come over here. 84 branches. They shut down all of their stores in the UK. Wow, in 2016. They had a problem. They shut down their stores in the UK. And in 2017, it had 700 stores left, most of them in America and Asia. And the Banana Republic's woes have continued, and it's reported to be closing 84 stores in a total of the next few years. See, how do they know that they're supposed to be closing? They literally have long-term goals down in their books, long-term plans to have all of these long-term plans to close stores. It's like they're looking down the road. They know what's down the road, and they know that they're not going to be able to profit based on what they know that is down the road. So they're closing the stores ahead of time, and I think that they're going to be somewhere else, is what I think. So look at this. So the average pace for the retailer is 15 store closures per quarter. So per quarter. Look at that, you all. Though the exact number of stores are unclear. That's right. Look at that. Kmart, 100 plus branches since 1899. Things just keep getting worse and worse for Kmart. You all, I am finding, are you noticing the tone of this article? It has a certain tone to it. It really does. Elk, I think the timeline was changed. So once a serious competitor like Walmart and Target, Kmart's sales began sinking in the late 1990s. They declared bankruptcy in 2022, and they fired more than 30,000 employees. So if they declared bankruptcy and they had people working for them for years, you know what happened once they filed bankruptcy. I don't think the people, if they had any, I don't know, 401ks or whatever stuff, I don't think they got them. I really don't. Yeah, that's right. I believe you need to tone down your comments, okay, because the algorithm, you are tripping the algorithms in this live stream, okay? Yeah, you're tripping the algorithms in this live stream. You all, please don't trip these algorithms, because when you trip the algorithms, it keeps the video from being suggested and stuff. It does. Maybe you aren't aware of that, but please try to keep your comments suitable. Really. Yeah. The rise of e-commerce. It really is the rise of e-commerce. Hello there, Lynn, from the Indian Ocean. That's okay, I believe. I believe that it is all right. It really is. So by 2010, the store was shutting down dozens of locations, followed by seamlessly endless liquidations and failed attempts to reboot their brand. You know why? Because I bet they had severe competition, and they really did. There's only 48 Walmart or Kmart still in operation as of the 2021. Yeah, so that's really interesting. Look, they're closing stores where possible and listing virtually all of their locations with commercial real estate brokers. Wow. American Eagle Outfitters, 1977, up to 250. Oh my gosh, you all. Do we got a long way to go with here? I don't know about it, but we're going to do it. Love you too. Well, I'm glad you caught me live. I wasn't planning on doing a video, but I'm doing one. I really am. So American Eagle. Since 1977, while it's not the biggest retailer out there by any means, the company has big plans and hopes to reach a revenue of $2 billion by 2023. In order to make this happen, it plans on closing 250 stores by 2023. Well, if they close those stores and American Eagle Outfitters go online, well, they're going to make all their money. They are going to make their money. They're not going to have to pay health insurance or any of that kind of stuff. They're not going to have to pay anything. See, that's right. The AI will do it all, and it will literally streamline everything. Boom. Just like that. So look at this. The way it hopes to be able to focus on its growing brand is pull more resources in that direction, you all. Look, the retailer is a fixture in malls across the country, so it will be sad if it starts to disappear. Chico's, I don't know who that is, but 100 branches nationwide close 100 stores by 2022. The slew of original Chico brand stores, Soma and White House Black Market stores, fall under the Chico brand. It was the fastest growing women fashion retailers within the decade. I've never heard of them. I really haven't. Well, I've heard of Martha, and Oprah. I have. Office Depot, you all. Let me. Yeah, all the malls are just like, they're becoming empty. Okay, they really are becoming empty. It is. That's okay, you all. We're going to have the metaverse. Office Depot. Unknown store closures. Headquartered in Florida, over 1,000 locations in North America, the company has done its best to compete with Amazon and other e-commerce, you all, e-commerce titans. This is telling you exactly where the future is headed. It does. It tells you exactly where it's going. The prices sagged in 2019 and disappointing sales, triggering the company to slate several dozen stores for closures in the beginning of 2020. And the restructuring would occur with the laying off of 13,000 workers by 2023, you all. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of stores in Kohl's, 1962, 27 branches right here. It's a department store. It's similar in competition to Macy's. It's because 25% of malls, according to a credit report, will be going out of business in the next few years. Out of business, if I didn't know any better, I would say that the whole entire economy is being shut down. Here it is. Stop economic growth and you stop global warming, somebody said. That's what they said. So Carter's, if you've heard of Carter's, 25 branches, baby clothes, $3.4 billion a year, 21,000 employees. They have not been immune to consumer shopping habits. They haven't. They have decreased physical store presence, but they are expanding in other areas. Like, I think they're expanding, they're trying to say major retailers like Walmart, Target, and Amazon. Simple Joys. Yes. Express, I don't know what that is. 1980, 60 branches, 2020. They'll be making cutbacks effective by 2022. And the closures will commence in 2020. They announced they'll close 100 stores beginning in January and 31 stores in 20 states, with California's mall locations being the first to go. Yes, hello, and thank you all for tuning in, you all. This is somewhat interesting. It really is, and I'm not sure how many. I don't know where I'm at on this thing. I really am not sure how far I am on this article. But you can see it just keeps going and going. Z Gallery, they're closing. Burger King, 200 and 250 stores. So look at this. Burger King will see a little less of that does not make sense. Okay. Business Insider called Burger King a restaurant that we can expect to see a little less of come 2022. The burger and fry chain is owned by RBI, and its parent company was in charge of making the decision to close 200 and 250 Burger King restaurants in an attempt to boost profitability in certain underperforming areas. Yes. So look at this. Christopher Banks. So they got that. Vera Wang, Zara, Williams Sonoma, Denny's Restaurants, Francisca's, Ralph's, Family Video, Office Max. 90 branches over the next 2 years. All these stores have a long-term plan. They really do. Tiffany and Company, Zales Jewelers, Lubby's, Pizza Inn and Pie 5, Air Nambia, Roti, CSA Czech Airlines, Collective Group, AMC, Dunkin' Donuts, IHOP, McDonald's, let's see. There will only be an estimated 150 spots left open. It says at one point in time, the partnership between Walmart and McDonald's was strong, with over 1,000 locations inside the stores. After the closures come into full force, There will only be 150 sites open. Westfield Malls, Becky Cosmetics, Fresh Acquisitions, Aldi. They're very cheap on their groceries. They faced tough times in 2020. They managed to emerge. They have managed to come on top. It's one of a few retailers looking to increase its presence in the U.S., opening 100 stores over the next period. So there is no denying that Aldi is an exception to an otherwise disastrous time in retail history. You are, my goodness, the tone of this article that is written, it's really interesting. It really is. I'm not joking. GameStop. Let's look at this. Bang, bang, mucka bang. GameStop, you all. Levi Strauss. Unknown. They made the difficult decision to shutter all of its U.S. and Canada locations in order to ride out what everyone hoped was the worst part. While most locations opened again, the retailer is still feeling effects that could impact its operations in 2022. You won't have no... Wow, that's really interesting. Walmart, a.k.a. Oh my gosh, you all. Now look at that. Walcott. Look at that. This is really strange. I'm telling you, I'm wow. I haven't ever heard of these phrases. Walcott. Doesn't this seem strange to you all to hear an article like this? Does it? Jewish Samaritan, that's right. It really does seem very, very strange. Maybe we're in a parallel world. It's really strange. 154 branches. As the old saying goes, when one door closes, another one opens, and this is the case for Walmart, which announced that it would be closing 154 stores through 2022. And the department store had closed the exact number a few years ago, but it didn't leave everyone with all the bad news. They said they will leave between 50 and 60 new Walmart supercenters, Walmart stores with eye care, pharmacies, and restaurants in them, as well as 85 to 95, hello, there's xylophone, thank you, regular neighborhood markets. And according to the chain, approximately 10,000 employees will be affected by Walmart closures. So, if they announce that through 2022 they'll be closing 154 stores, they'll leave open between 50 and 60 new Walmart supercenters. There's 50 states or 51 U.S. states. And they'll leave open 85 to 95 regular neighborhood markets. So they have 154 branches. They closed 154 branches is what it said. Yeah. Yes, Michael, honey, yes, I heard that. Yeah, I did. So this is really interesting. AT&T, the CWA, these closures will lead to 1,600 job losses, and AT&T 570. That's 2020. Look at that. The reason is the retailer stated that they were as opposed to they stated that the reason was happening due to the retail apocalypse of 2020, which accelerated their plans. The retail apocalypse, you all. That's what they said. Yeah, Yes. So Bath and Body. Oh no, there's that word of the retail apocalypse again. 50 branches. I don't like Bath and Body because I don't like perfumey smells, and their stuff is very expensive. It really is. They announced 50 store locations will be closing by the end of 2022, and they're going to open a 3-year plan to open 46 new locations and renovate up to 175 locations. They operate more than 1,600 worldwide. Bose, I've never heard of that. The company, a dramatic shift from in-person to digital, you all. Digital. Yes. So Berger Rim, I never heard of them. They're trying to recoup steadier ground after refunding more than $57 million in franchise fees. Legal issues. Wow, legal issues. Lidocaine, never heard of it. That's really interesting. Your mother's Czechoslovakian family settled in Oklahoma. Mark and Spencer, J.C. Penney's. They are going to close a further 90, spanning across 2021 and into 2022, and it may take time before physical stores whittle it down. It is a beloved institution to many who hate to see this company in such dire straits. The tone of this article. Wow. 1994. Fossil, whoever that is. I'm not sure who they are. Palmer House in Chicago. There's so many. H&M. H&M. Best Buy. The retailer has faced dramatic decline in sales over the years, and it's unclear exactly how many stores it's going to close. But the higher-ups in the company say the number will be greater than 20 branches. Paper Source, never heard of them. Goodwill, 8 branches. It's a shame the chain has had to close several branches in certain areas as the low-income people rely. I'm telling you what. The tone of this article, the way it's being written, the spirit, literally, the spirit that's behind that article, it's like, it doesn't settle good with my spirit. It doesn't, the way it's worded. It's like, it's a shame, especially since they say, it's a shame that the chain has had to close several branches in certain areas as low-income people rely on Goodwill for affordable items. See, that's, I don't like it. Maybe I am interpreting the tone wrong, but I don't like it. I don't. Justice. They filed for bankruptcies. They're going to see 1,600 store closures, 24-hour fitness, bankruptcy, Lane Bryant. Yeah. Lane Bryant, Cricket Wireless. They'll remain in operation a small portion. They go on wireless, AT&T, Earth Fare. Yes, Jewish Samaritan, GNC Vitamins. They'll close 900 other stores, which numbers 7,300 in total, 900 branches. The closures are slated to take place over the next few years, wrapping up in 2023. Listen to that, wrapping up. Wrapping up. Oh my goodness. Wrapping up. Okay. Loft. They have 666 outlets. They had to stick that in there. And stores will be shutting down. Lidocaine. I thought I already saw that. Microsoft. If you've been following the tech headlines, you know Microsoft's decision to close all 83 in-person stores. For a long time, the tech bloggers and commentators have pointed out that Microsoft just isn't able to compete with Apple. And Microsoft apparently agrees, and the tech giant decided to cut its losses and shut down all of its stores. Yes, that's right. The only exceptions will be for stores. Instead of actual stores, locations will become experience centers. Experience centers to demonstrate the new technology. The stores are going to be new technology experience centers. Yes, the pet value. The pet value. Rent the Runway, K Jewelers, Ulta Beauty, Compass Airlines, Kroger. In 2021, it would shut down 7 stores, 7 branches. They announced their decision was based on performance and all of this kind of stuff. And they got themselves in hot water with some of their former employees. California Pizza, Surley Table, Ruby Tuesday, Applebee, Steak and Shake, Piggly Wiggly, Long John Silver's. They're going to make changes in 2022, simplifying their business. Boston Market, Brio Italian, Save a Lot. The Save a Lot that we had here in Salem, it closed down. It literally closed in. 300 branches. In January, they sold 51 of their stores, and 9 months later, they sold another 32. The Ohio-based retailer closed much of its stores, particularly in Tampa, in order to cut their debt. Part of the reason is Save a Lot is shedding because of a new model. The grocery store is transitioning to a wholesale store and will be selling more 300 of its branches. In April 21, it announced, well, they don't tell what it's going to be. They don't. Friendlies. Fuddruckers, I don't like that name. Lee Payne Quetidin, Stop and Shop. Perkins, PF Change, Red Robin, Subway, Sweet Tomatoes, TGIF Friday and Cossie, Chuck E. Cheese, Meissen Kaiser, Dave and Buster's. That's it, you all. That's it. So we got back all the way to the top of that article. And it was quite a strange article. It really was a very strange article to read. It was. We have a 356 people viewing this. You all, please give this video a thumbs up because, you know, what's really happening is the retail landscape is really getting a makeover is what's happening. It's literally being redone, and e-commerce is literally going to be the wave of the future. It really is. Virtual stuff and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's going to be all of that. Every single bit of that. And a xylophone. Thank you once again. So this is really interesting. It is, you all. And what's really, yes, the farmland. What's really interesting also is when you do certain searches, you may not find what you're searching for, and that's because they're hiding it. They can literally keep things to where you won't be able to pull it up. But really, the retail landscape, you can see it's changing. You can see it when you go places. And Aldi's, I did go to Aldi's today, and I went there before, and there wasn't very many shoppers. But when I went there today with a friend, there were lots of people from all walks of life shopping at Aldi's. And, let me tell you what they had. They had cucumbers, 39 cents a piece. You remember cucumbers in the summertime? If you go to the store, they are like 65 cents a piece. They had cucumbers for 39 cents a piece, which was extremely cheap. I bought 3 cucumbers. I did. I mean, that might sound something strange, but they do. They have a lot. Their products are a lot cheaper. They are, and they offer a wide variety of products, and I can see why people want to go there because, that's what they can afford it much better than they can the bigger stores, you all. It's just true. It is. Even like the Save-A-Lots and the other little bitty discount stores. So I am going to go. I'm going to go. And I thank you all for tuning in. I really do. And with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day, you all, and thank you for tuning in. I like to share all different types of things. I really do. And that's okay. Whatever I feel led within my spirit, I share it. I do. And like that one video last night, how could you get back on the internet and do a live video 20 minutes later as if nothing happened? Well, I stopped everything that I was going to do, and I did what I was told to do in my spirit. I did that one video. Then I came back on because I wanted to share the moon. So I did a live video. And my life is very compartmentalized. It never used to be, but I can compartmentalize my life, and I'm very thankful. Because you've got to be very flexible. In this ever-changing world, you got to be very flexible, and you got to be able to adapt. You do. So I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. I really do. Thank you so much for tuning in here, and thank you, Bang Bang Muck Bang. Yes, thank you so much. You know, I don't know what happened to King Ahuka Mundo, but that's okay. That is all right. It's all right, you all. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Love you.